Welcome back, everyone, to episode 37 of the Tricks and Traps Speedrun. So I'm coming into today, rated 1895. Hopefully I can break 1900 today. And it might be hard to match the beauty of my games from last episode. If you missed that one, do check it out. It had some really fun games, some fun tactics and sacrifices. But we'll try and keep it up. And yeah, let's hop into the first game. Okay, first opponent playing RMK 2014. We have a French. Let's play B3. This is a new Gambit I've studied recently. The idea is you temporarily sack the e-pawn. Okay, black is being maybe a bit greedy defending with the pawn. And I think in this case I treat it as a Gambit, just allow black to take and prioritize development. Nice thing about this position is it's a bit more open compared to other lines in the French. And I guess it's a question, like, do I want to play bishop c4, queen e2? There's times where I can play queen e2 and castle very quickly. But I think bishop c4 makes sense. It's move 7. I have all my minor pieces developed. And yeah, now I'll play queen e2. e6 is a backwards pawn. And it's actually nice having the half-open E and F files to work with. Like, even if I'm not winning back material, I'm probably going to castle queenside here. Looking at other options like knight b5. But I think this is most flexible. Maybe black will go for bishop a3. And castling kingside also makes sense. Okay, what to do? I do want to target e6. So knight d4 comes to mind. I mean, e-pawn's pinned. Rook e1 as well. Like probably rook de1. Yeah, let's start with this. I'm moving the d rook because the other rook will probably come to the f file. Black plays rook e8. And now I'm liking knight d4. Not only attacking e6, but also attacking f5. The e-pawn is pinned to the king. So some nice early pressure. Looks like I should be winning one of these pawns. I mean, the thing is, if I win a pawn, then it's equal material. Nature of a Gambit. But black is underdeveloped. And it feels like going forward into the middle game, there should be good attacking potential. Like long-term X-ray vision on the long diagonal. King f7 defending the pawn. But not defending this pawn. So let's take it. It is possible my opponent just missed the fact the f5 pawn was hanging. And this is looking pretty good. This is looking really good. Oh no, black's queen. Yeah, small tragedy for my opponent. Yeah, not the type of mistake that happens or type of blunder that happens at this rating level, but sometimes when the opponent is under pressure, then it's more likely that they make these sort of blunders. And the opening worked out nicely. Yeah, I guess for anyone that plays this b3 line against the French, this is one of the most common positions to reach. I think more common is knight f6, and then the idea is to play queen e2, very often castle queenside, and eventually winning back the pawn. There's also ideas of g4, g5, and bishop g2, and it's a different type of opening that definitely has some venom. I know Gotham Chess enjoys this line as well. I think he played it in his recent match against Julian Song. So, good start. I officially broke 1900 at 1904. Let's keep it going. Next opponent playing Motilov. We have an English opening, which have not seen too much of this series. I'm going to play a reverse Sicilian. And more specifically, reverse Grand Prix attack is one of my favorite weapons against the English. It's not only a solid approach, but also potentially tricky and trappy. Looks like White's trying to employ some Boffinic setup. I'm just kind of following the general piece placement for this opening. And yeah, let's castle. And going forward into the middle game, there should be a lot of attacking potential, especially with this f-pawn advance. f4 looks pretty good. Considering taking, though. Yeah, there's some decision to make. Like f4 not only wins connect 4, but kind of shuts down the king side, prevents the bishop from developing as well. So an alternative is takes, but then White can take, and take. And the f-file's open. Might be bishop e3. I think both options are good. I'm going to go for f4. This might just be a matter of taste. Like, do I want sweet or savory? Okay, let's play a5. Automatic move to slow down b4. b4 is likely to come unless I play a4. a4, there is knight c3. Wondering if I can still go for that. Like, is it worth potentially sacking the pawn and then later focusing on the king side? So another decision. I'm also considering just bishop g4, develop. a4, knight c3. Let's imagine bishop g4, takes a4, takes. I want to use this d4 square. And bishop g4 right away, pawn b4. Let's say bishop a7. Pawn b5. I'm going to play bishop g4. I think it's okay to allow b4. And I might even throw in the capture. I do see a potential trick. Okay, let's start by capturing bishop a7. So the trick is if rook a1, which looks logical, there's bishop takes f2. Okay, here I was thinking to take and knight d4. I do have to calculate takes, but that's good for me. And if takes, I take back, also good for me. Okay, let's go for this. Yeah, this d4 square is, I think, a very important square in the center. That's the reason why I trade off the light squared bishop for the knight. Now black has full control. I don't think b6 works. b6 I take on d5. Bishop b2. Okay, now I'm thinking just bishop c5. Unleashing the rook. Okay, we trade. Yeah, now the bishop is really nice planted on d4. Not easy for white to remove. Long term, it's going to stay here. And it's still equal material, but I'm feeling good. Another benefit to having the bishop here is it prevents rook a1. So it's really hard for white to challenge the only open file on the board. And one plan just might be to invade with rook a2 and then target f2. Maybe even something like queen b8 to a7 eventually. Okay, queen c2 prevents rook a2. So what to do? I'm considering c6, but I don't really want to open the b file for white. Considering knight d7 to c5. Allows bishop g4, but I don't think the bishop does much there. And when I play knight d7, I'm not giving white the option of trading knights. And this could be useful in eventually playing c6 to force a knight to retreat. Like, it looks like d5 is an outpost for the knight, but it's not an outpost if a pawn can attack it. Okay, queen e2. c6 almost traps the knight. There's knight b4, though. Okay, I'll continue with the maneuver. Knight c5. Now d3 could be a target. Some potential of rook a3. So now c6, there's knight c7. But then the knight is stuck there, I think. Let's do it. It's important to note my knight covers e6. So there's no knight e6 with a fork. But it's getting weird. Like, now the white knight found an outpost, but it's maybe not the most useful outpost for white. Queen f6 looks nice. I guess I should consider taking on d3, but then knight e6 is a problem. I'm briefly considering f3. I like queen f6 though. Looks nice and controlled. Yeah, this knight reminds me of a Christmas ornament. Just kind of a decoration dangling in my face, but not really hurting me in any way. Can I play g6, h5? So I'm trying to understand king h1, maybe preparing f3. Again, I could consider taking, but I guess I should consider taking. There's still knight e6, and the knight is a bit overworked. Let's play g6. It's a way to facilitate the pawn storm. h5. I want to play this, but then there's bishop h5. So maybe this. And g3. Oh, that was a mouse slip. Oh, I have click turned on. It's been a while since I made a click mouse slip. How do I change it? Where's click? Okay, not a terrible move, queen g5, but maybe not the most productive. Okay, let's focus. Maybe king f. Oh no, white wants rook a2. Yeah, not the best use of time, queen g5. I don't have rook a8. So do I go for queen h4? Actually, the trade's not that bad for me. Let's play queen h4. Loss of tempo. So now with rook a2, I can take and then take on f2. Yeah, I usually prefer just click and drag. But I guess when I click, I can like pre-move, right? Yeah. So I gotta be careful. Rook f1. Oh, I really want to advance. Yeah, rook a2 is coming. G5. Feels so close to working. King g7. Maybe just king g7. The knight's always controlling e6. Rook a2, I can take on d3, I think. Oh no, knight e6. Ooh. So if I take... Okay, so maybe I do take. Oh, it's complicated. Take. I'm calculating takes, g5, g3, take, queen h3. I think that's okay. It's kind of risky trapping in my own queen like this. But the side is very solid, even though now white's controlling the a file. Queen a7 I don't think does anything. And I want to do things on the king side. So now take. Queen h3. One calculation is bishop g2, and then it's mate in 2 with rook takes f1. I'm threatening mate in 1 here. Oh, do I not have anything? Huh. Queen e2 is a good move. Wow. Take. Maybe h4? h4 take. Take. Oh, I might be in trouble. I gotta try this. I think I'm in trouble. Taking doesn't work. Yeah, bishop g2 can take. I'm in trouble. Queen c8. 43 seconds left. I ran out of steam. D3 is still no, D3 is not hanging. Still a target though. I wonder if I can get away with this. Okay. This is very speculative. So the idea is to take on D3 and then take on B6. Assuming the queen trade happens and white takes on G5. Interesting. This move. Yeah, that doesn't work. Gotta go for it though. I gotta start pre-moving too. So there's takes in knight e8 for that first. Wow. Oh, it's so close to working. F2. The knight's almost trapped too. Threatening this. Yeah, I managed my time very badly. Okay, now I think I'm winning. Check. Let's discover check. I might have to try and checkmate with knight and bishop. Wait, no, I have pawns though. Oh no. Okay. Okay, this should be easy win now. Stay focused. Intense finish. Yeah, this is mate next move. Okay. Lot to unpack from that game. I was feeling good out of the opening. And turn on the eval bar. I think e4 is already a positional mistake. Just weakening d4. There's other lines in the English where, like, if white wants to play e4, it's better to maybe fianchetto first and then put the knight on e2 to prepare f4. That's kind of the standard Boffinic setup. But it's still a game. Going forward, yeah, engine likes black. So I wanted to play a4. This is maybe my first longer think of the game. I rejected this because knight c3 and the pawn is probably falling. Engine says knight d4 takes. Oh, if takes right away, the queen is overworked. I can take, and take. And if takes first, and then takes, h5 and black is winning somehow. I guess the attack is coming. Knight g4, queen h4. Maybe some parallels to a Stafford attack with this piece configuration. Yeah, I played bishop g4. Still a nice looking position for black. And then, yeah, it got weird. I was feeling super comfortable. But then I started spending too much time. I made the mouse slip of click click. Yeah, where is it in the settings? Because move method. Ah, okay, so it's set to drag or click. I just want drag pieces. And that way I'll avoid making the click click mouse slip. It's much easier to make these slips when I'm like drawing arrows, and then sometimes when I want to clear the arrows, I'll click a random square and then it happens to make a move. Oh, knight a4. Yeah, knight a4 is a really nice move. I was so focused on the king side, but knight a4 guarantees a fork. It threatens a triple fork, and there's no way for white to prevent knight c3. White can't counterattack the rook either, I don't think. Queen c2, knight c3, and black wins material. Yeah, so queen g5, it's still good for black. But then what I did kind of backfired. Like I went for g5. I thought this is a logical continuation. And taking... Yeah, my idea was to use the f-file, but we need two, then I'm in trouble. And then I'm worse. Oh, bishop takes f1 is better. Keeping options open of the queen infiltration. Yeah, there's also the knight infiltration. The knight turns out to be useful on c7. Oh yeah, there's also queen g4, but I didn't play queen g4 because knight e8. White's winning. I don't have a good square from my king. King moves anywhere to the h-file, the queen comes in. And if king g8 walks into the fork. So queen c8 keeps me alive. And then, yeah, the ending got weird. Like, I lost d6, but I win d3, I win b6, I lose b7. And then white blundered with knight d6. I mean, my opponent probably just got complacent seeing my time situation. And then, yeah, then life was good. There was a moment here, actually. White could have taken my pawn. I would take back and then king f3. I have to move the knight. Oh, actually, I could play bishop d6. To be honest, though, I was probably going to move the knight, and then I'd have 16 seconds to try and mate with knight and bishop. I'm not sure if it's doable. Like on Lichess, I could pre-move and not waste time, but yeah, it would be a tall task to mate in 16 seconds. Anyway, yeah, my opponent did not force me to mate with knight and bishop, and I got the job done. So very eventful game, but keep the win streak alive. That brings me to 1914. That was only the second game of the episode, but let's do one more. Next opponent, playing Michael. Play e4. And we get a Ponziani. 2 episodes in a row now I've had Ponziani. But not this game. We have a Philidor. Could still maybe transpose into Ponziani. But this is more of a mainline Philidor. This opening has a passive reputation for black because bishop can't develop actively, but it's still very playable. And the setup I'm going to play is bishop to f4, and then go for the quick queenside castle. And it's not a gambit, but it's still a very aggressive approach. Very often, white can attack quite quickly on the king side. I had a recent game against some strong GM. I think it was in one of these 3-0 Thursday tournaments. It was against Moraldi. It was like 3100 blitz on chess.com. And I beat him pretty convincingly in a very similar line with this kingside pawn storm. Here the bishop is sort of used as fuel for my attack. Could play h5 first. Yeah, these 2 pawn moves are my top candidate moves. h5 looks pretty good. Forcing bishop h7. And then... yeah, I should calculate g5, take, take. I don't think black has any tactics with the diagonal. And the main goal is just to open the g file and keep attacking. Maybe eventually get in h6. This looks really, really pleasant for white. Black really has no attack on the queen side. So knight d7. Offering the bishop trade. I was thinking h6 threatening mate, but black can take the bishop with check. So I probably should take first on e7. Take, take. And then knight d5 looks really nice. Yeah, keeping initiative. I don't really want to trade queens, but knight d5 is it's a way to win a pawn. Let's consider h6. Queen e5. Take. Go somewhere. Also looks very fine. So it's a question. Do I want to start with knight d5? Do I want to start with h6? I'm going to go for knight d5. And we might see queen d8, which might allow me to win quicker. There's a line I'm just spotting. Queen e5 takes. If pawn... okay, pawn takes knight e7. I win the knight. I was thinking about ideas of knight e7, knight g6. So maybe takes, knight takes. Of course, I could take on c7. Oh, but then f3 is attacked. Okay, let's take some time here. So takes, takes. f4 is a move I want to play, but then bishop takes e4 is a counterattack. Yeah, knight takes e7 is probably the way to go. Just keeping this pawn formation the way it is. If rook c8, so takes rook c8, I move back. And then I'm okay with trading queens. I don't mind these checks. And actually, if rook c8, when I move back, I'll be eventually threatening knight e7. I trade queens and then fork. Okay, queen f4. King b1. There is queen takes h3, leaving the rook hanging but counterattacking my rook. If queen h3, I'd probably play rook g1 threatening mate. d1's defended. Knight e5, interesting. I should probably just take the rook. I am considering knight d5, takes knight e7, king h8. But yeah, knight g6 doesn't work. Okay, let's take. Yeah, there's also knight takes f3. There's also rook takes a8, so I'm up the exchange. I think at this point I just want to be solid. And black can win f3, but then file's open. Okay, can take on d6. Pinning the knight from behind. Also threatening mate in 2. Could be easy to overlook the back rank mate. Black doesn't have an h-pawn, but the bishop prevents the king from having Luft. The bishop can't actually move so easily. So it's kind of awkward for black. Maybe rook f8. Maybe g6. Rook e8. Can I do it? Sack the queen? This might just be the best move. Queen e7. If rook f8, then rook d8. And it looks like forced mate. Oh no, my queen. Someone call an ambulance. But not for me. Always got to be careful playing such moves. But yeah, I don't see any counter tactics for black. And how does black prolong the game? Like rook f8, rook d8. Maybe knight g6 is the best try. Takes and then takes and queen defends. But then I have bishop c4 check with eventual mate. Okay, so this worked out nicely. I thought, like, at some point I would crash through on the G file, but I actually just kind of crashed through in the center. This rook never really came into play. And yeah, GG. Felt like a pretty smooth game. And again, this is one of my favorite lines against the Philidor. Yeah, this bishop f4, queen d2. I think very easy for white to play. My opponent probably made the mistake of playing bishop g4 and committing the bishop to the king side. Usually black should put the bishop on e6 and then like eventually go for some counter pawn storm. Very often play can continue f3 and then like a6, g4, b5. But objectively it is preferable for white. And going forward, just want to see if anything was missed. Oh, h6 was preferred. h6, queen e5. I considered this line. I guess it's nice having the pawn here. But what I did also worked out. Queen e7 top move. Okay, I think I'll end it there. Ending today at 1922. Hope you guys enjoyed the games today. As always, if you have questions, leave them below and stay tuned for the next episode. See you guys soon.